Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and as always I was cutting things fine with setting up the live stream. Not that I started setting up late, it's just that before things were about to go live things just stopped working and I had a bit of a lighting issue going on, and then realised for some reason the lights have different batteries in, or at least I've gone out of sync with my batteries because I have two different types of batteries. One lasts longer than the other, but now I've got one paired with another one because I have two lights, so one of them won't run out on this live stream, but it will run out more quickly than the other light that I've got with the batteries that are recharged for that. So anyway, thankfully it seems like everything's working and we are live, which is always a bonus. So yes, hello, thank you for joining me, and let me have a little look into that live chat room. We've got Charlie, Bev, Tammy, Bob's in there, Debbie, Desert Deluge, Bella, Constantia, Ro, Cindy, Bev, and Laurie's in there, Tammy as well, Linda, Mimi 321, Joe as well, Terry, Charlie, hello. Thank you for joining me tonight on another live stream Tuesday. And we just about got the vote going at the top of the live stream before we went live, and that is between Free Falling and Just Got Lucky by Dokken. I think that was the other request over on Patreon. So yes, have your vote for whichever one of those you want to see a little bit later on in tonight's live stream. But let's get organised and get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. So a huge shout out and thank you to the people that go across the bottom of the screen throughout not only this live stream, but the live streams that happen on Saturday. Just every single live stream is possible thanks to these lovely people, but also just everything that I do on the channel. So yeah, a big thank you to you guys. You know who you are. And let's get tonight's lights goal up on screen. I think I did update this to say 330 is what we're going to be aiming for tonight, which is, yeah, certainly a high target. We haven't hit that one in quite a while, so we will see what happens. And it is a Tuesday. I think Tuesdays are a little bit more difficult to hit high targets, but we will see. If you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be much appreciated to get us a little bit closer to that title that, well, not the title. I think the title is maybe 390 or 400 or something crazy like that we do either at Christmas or New Year's Eve, around that kind of time usually. But yeah, 330 is certainly a high target for a run-of-the-mill Tuesday night live stream. So we will see where we end up with that. Yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be great. So let's get the likeometer up on screen to see where we are at. At the moment, it's 159, it says on my screen. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. Quite a lot of you have done that already. So we've made a little bit of a dent in the target. And let me just click on this so that the comments are now coming through. And it means that I can, yes, I can grab them if needs be throughout the live stream. And Mimi said we are at 160 likes already with a smiley face. So thank you for that. And Mimi 321. So let's get rid of that. And as for donations, I always say you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. Maybe leaving a thumbs up, leaving a comment, introduce yourself into the live chat room, and we all get to know each other. You know, that is what we do here on the live streams, just a place for us to interact in a live setting and all be in the same place at the same time, which is great. So yeah, thank you guys for getting involved. And over on the Facebook supporters group page, which is the Wings of Pegasus supporters group page, surprisingly, if you want to get involved over there and you are a Facebook user, you can go over there and join in with that. And that's where I sometimes get sent pictures from by Laura if people are modelling any merchandise. Or on tonight's live stream, we're going to be taking a look at one of the Zoom call pictures that happens over on that group page sometimes as well. So we'll be looking at that in Picture Corner tonight. Right. we have got some donations, even though I did say that you don't have to donate. Some people can't resist, and because of that, it means that I get the donations tab up on screen, and the donations tab is there to let people know that if they can't resist donating, between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, and you can find that in the description below if you so wish. But I think I'm just about okay now with organising my screen and getting all of the boxes where they need to be. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will see throughout the live stream if it continues to work. It does seem to be working at the moment. We are live. We've got the green indicator and I can still see the comments going through. So hello, everybody going into that live chat room. If you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be great. And I know that there have been some donations that have come through already, so thank you for these. David has donated $1.49, so thank you for that. And there's a picture of popcorn, and I can also see that David has donated $1.49 straight afterwards and now has a banana skin there. So thank you for those pictures, David. And then Orlando is in the house and has donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, hello, everyone. Spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So, yes, thank you for that. There have been donations over on PayPal as well. So thank you guys for those donations over there. As I said, you don't have to donate, just watching is fantastic. And I will just reference these donations. As you guys know, I do reference every single donation that comes in, not only during the live streams, but any donation that comes through, like this one at 31 minutes past 3 on Sunday. And this is Lenky, or Gabriella. It's always the change of the names, the order that we've had before. But thank you for this. And this was a donation, which I think might be a mistake, because it's $301.74. So thank you for that, Gabriella, and don't worry, if that is a mistake, we can organise that and I'll do a refund on PayPal. That's the good thing about PayPal. It's very easy just to click on a button and refund a donation that might have been made accidentally. But thank you for that, and it just reminds me that we have indeed hit another, it's not really a milestone, but I guess every 1,000 is a milestone for me. We've hit 311,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing, as well as watching the videos and commenting and hitting the thumbs up, all of that cool stuff. We are now, 311, which is great. I can't remember when we got to 310. Was that maybe last week? Things have been moving quite quickly recently, but yeah, that's great. And I'm sure there are going to be some messages about that, maybe with the donations. But there we go. It is official. It's not official until we have it on screen on a live stream. Apparently, I just made that up. So let's get back to the donations window. So thank you for that, Gabriella. And another donation came through, and this was on Monday afternoon at 3:44 from Roseanne, who has donated £5. So thank you for this, Roseanne. And the message is, hi Phil, if you could go back in time and have a guitar lesson with one of the following, whom would you choose? Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, or Roy Clark? Thanks, Phil. So thank you for that, Roseanne. And the question, this is a really difficult question to answer, because I would ask them how long they're going to be around for and try and get a lesson with all of them. But I would have to say, again, I don't know how good they would be at teaching, because I get the impression that, Jimi Hendrix might just kind of play and just do what he does and not really be able to teach his style to somebody, because he just does what he does. And that could be the case for Stevie Ray and Roy. So yeah, it'd be very difficult. But just being a Jimi Hendrix fan, first and foremost, when I started playing the guitar, I would, if pushed, say Jimi Hendrix is the one that I'd go for. But I would, obviously, if possible, have one from all three of those for, lots of different reasons. But thank you for that, Roseanne. And Nicole has donated £10 and 68 pence. So thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello, Phil. I guess there are a lot of concerts in London this summer. Perfect time for outdoor music, I think. Good week, Phil. Love and cheers. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, I think the weather hasn't been too good for festivals this year in England, but of course everyone will know, like Glastonbury, Isle of Wight, Reading Festival, which is quite close to Maidenhead. But we also have Download, but that's more of a heavier festival for hard rock and metal and that kind of stuff. So I don't think the general public, or certainly people that are into the mainstream charts, might not go to Download Festival, and that's one of those that I've been to in the past. And I mean, we do have some really cool local, festivals that go on, like the Rewind Festival, which is going to be happening, I think, in Henley-on-Thames, maybe. But anyway, that's like a festival where... Oh, and there's another one, Rock the Moor, which... I'm not sure where that is. Is that in Cookham? But anyway, they're smaller festivals, so they're not like Glastonbury, where kind of hundreds of thousands of people turn up. But these festivals, like the Rewind Festival, is exactly what it sounds like. So you've got acts that were quite big in the 80s and the 90s, and had quite a good following back then, and might have had hits, and not necessarily loads and loads of hits, but a particular hit or a couple of hits back in those times, and then they now come back and perform them at Rewind Festival. So I like that kind of thing, because a lot of music that I'm into is from the 80s. Not that I have time to go to Rewind Festival, but I think it's cool that there's that mix. If you want to go and check out the sounds of your youth, then you still can do in a live setting at a live festival. So yes, certainly summertime is the time for festivals, but it doesn't necessarily mean in this country that it's going to be good weather or warm at all. I mean, I know it's been the wettest July since records began, meaning that we've hit the most millimeters of rainfall. And starting now, August, it has been raining, I think, most days as well. There's the occasional day or two where it doesn't rain, but then it just starts raining again. So, yeah, not particularly good if you're out wanting to watch bands. You're going to get quite wet. So wear your waterproofs. That's the top tip. And hopefully these people that go for all 3 days of a festival, they had like the full 3-day ticket, obviously they'll be in their tents, and hopefully their tents are waterproof, because that would be a bit of a nightmare if they're not. But I mean, it's not something that I'm particularly into. I generally, or at least when I went to Download Festival, just got the Sunday ticket, went there, saw the bands I wanted to see, and didn't do the camping thing. I'm not really into camping. It doesn't float my boat particularly. I'd rather just be in as much comfort as possible. I know that there are some people that are really into all that kind of stuff, but yeah, not particularly something that I would do, especially if I was there to watch music, because that would be my focus, rather than imagining missing a band because I'm trying to fix a leak on my tent because it's raining. I think, well, no, I do actually want to see the band that I've paid to see. So anyway, thank you for that, Nicole. And Paul has donated $5, so thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, congratulations on 311,000 subscribers. Phil, you are appreciated. Please spike those likes all yours. Thank you for that, Paul. Great idea as well to hit that thumbs up. And yeah, if you could do that, that would be great, because we're currently looking for 110 more likes to hit the goal for tonight. And if we do hit the goal, it means that we have Phil Jam number 31. Is it? I was trying to remember, because I can't see it on the screen because everything's too small. Trying to see everything live, because I'll tell you what, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 windows open. So these are, and of those windows, I've got two that have two separate tabs on them, and these are, not Google Chrome tabs, because for some reason they clash with my software that I use and make it all laggy and rubbish. But I have the Safari browser, which works for Mac. Natively, it just works a lot more smoothly, so that's fine for doing what I'm doing here. And I've forgotten how many I said. Was it 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 9 windows, and 2 of those windows have 2 tabs on them. So yeah, that's what I keep organized while I'm doing the live streams. But that's like trying to see a particular part of one of those windows, such as the live feed, is too small on the screen. I've just got everything kind of placed where I usually have it. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's number 31. At least that's what I remember changing it to before we went live. So yeah, if we do hit the target, then we'll have a fill jam, as we always do when we hit the target. But if we don't hit the target, then generally we just jump into a riff of the week or a fill tune. Sometimes we actually have time to roll everything into one and have a fill tune and a riff of the week and a fill jam if we do hit the target. So we will see where we end up tonight. But not a bad start. 225 and 23 minutes past 11 here in the UK. Well, it would have been good if it was 11:25 and then we had 225. It would have been nicely synchronized, but unfortunately, it wasn't. Let's get back into the PayPal window, because Tammy has donated £10. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, "Hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 311,000 subscribers. If you went to a music festival," got a bit of a theme here tonight, "would you rather go to a single genre festival or a multi-genre festival? Rock." So thank you for that, Tammy. And this, I guess, links into the last question in that, because I said about like Rewind Festival featuring lots of stars from back in the day, and it wasn't necessarily one particular style of music that you'd go to watch. It would be lots of different songs that you knew from your youth, and for that reason I would like to go to a multi-genre festival, because when you're at a festival, and sometimes you can have bands that you want to see and the times clash, and then you've got to try and get over to one stage to see one band, you've got to leg it over to another stage to catch the other band. I think with multiple genres, you might still have that problem, but you might just hear something that you might recognize, and sometimes you don't even really know the name of the band, but you know the song, especially songs from your youth. You'll just recognise it and think, oh, I remember this song, whatever it is. And I think that would be great if you're at a festival and you hear a song like that, then you can just run to wherever that sound's coming from and see who it actually is that does that song and is performing it. But yeah, I'd like to have a mix of different songs, just because that's what I'm into, even though I'm very much into hard rock and heavier sounds. I'm into lots of other genres. I wouldn't say wild genres, but more mainstream genres that obviously I would hear when I was a kid. So it'd be typically just songs and artists that were in the charts at that time in the 80s and the 90s. Trying to think, probably not the early 2000s, because then I was heavily into my hard rock and getting into playing live myself and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the focus went away from hearing lots of songs. I just generally listened to whatever happened to be on at the time. But then again, it's still the case that you get used to hearing particular songs, even if you're not into that kind of music. Eminem, he is a rapper, and he was, I think, quite big when I was at college, maybe a bit earlier than that, maybe kind of secondary school. But anyway, yeah, like a lot of his songs, they remind me of that time. Not that I really listened to them, but I couldn't help listening to them because they're always on the radio. And yeah, when I was at that age, the radio was still a regular thing, because I used to have to get on a coach to then go to college. So the radio would be on in the coach, and that would be something that, yeah, I was on a daily basis, just getting a dose of whatever happened to be at the top of the charts at that particular time. And unfortunately, well, the thing is, I had a coach which was the official coach that took you to college, and it's about a 15-20 minute coach journey to get to college and then back home. But there was also a bus that ran. Now, the thing about the bus was that it wasn't to do with the college. It was just a bus that ran to the town of the college. The problem with that was that obviously I had to then pay more for it because I was just on like public transport. But the good thing about it was that if I didn't have a lesson in the morning, I could then go in for the lesson in the afternoon, because it depends how your schedule works out. And sometimes on one day we had a lecture that started at 9 until like 10 or half 10 in the morning, and then our next lecture was at 3 in the afternoon. It was like the last lecture until like 4, half 4, and then get the coach back at 5. So you had a whole load of the day where you're just stuck at college, and well, I was going to say you've got nothing to do. Other people were probably studying, but guess what I did? I took my guitar with me. So I started to then play my guitar just for those few hours. I say few hours. It's probably, 4 or 5 hours, just waiting for the next. I was doing a course in sport and exercise science. So I was doing something totally unrelated to what I should have been doing. But this was college, and I did quite well in college. I'd got very good grades, which was good. But yeah, just the schedule was ridiculously worked out. Anyway, it meant that there was a bus that went to college and I could get that. But then that particular bus stopped. So it meant that if I had a lecture at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I had to get the coach, at like 8, half 7 or 8 in the morning, to get there in time to have the lecture starting at 9. So rather than do that, I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cycle. And for what did I say, like 20 minutes cycle ride, I don't know how, it's between like 7 or 8 miles, something like that. And I didn't have a good bike. I just borrowed my sister's bike. This sounds like the Goonies. But no, it wasn't like a child's bike. It was a mountain bike, but the gears didn't work properly. So, yeah, I greatly underestimated how far 7 or 8 miles was, thinking I could cycle there and cycle back. So when I got there to start my lecture at 9 in the morning, obviously I was, absolutely unbelievably shattered and sweating because of the cycle ride I just done. And the other thing is that the seat wasn't particularly comfortable because it wasn't a proper mountain bike. So yeah, I definitely knew about that when I then cycled back as well, because I had to do the journey back obviously on the bike. It meant that I don't know how long I was cycling for. It's probably like an hour, maybe longer than that. But yeah, absolute nightmare. It's because the gears didn't work, and I had some ridiculous inclines. I said mountains. They felt like mountains cycling up them. But yeah, some serious hills. Anybody that's been to Henley-on-Thames will know the hill that leads into Henley. It's a bit hardcore if you're trying to cycle it on a bike that doesn't have gears. So anyway, there we go. A bit from my past. That, yeah, wasn't really my music past, but just an ill-informed decision. But then thankfully, the bus then started up again, so I could then get the bus. But I think there's a little while where I just had to try and figure out how to get there, or maybe ask for a lift from maybe my sister or something, because she could drive because she's 2 years older than me. So yeah, I had to try and figure something out. But anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. I took a bit of a detour there on that particular answer about the multi-genre festival, but there it is. Anyway, so thank you, Steve, for this £5 donation as well over in that PayPal window. And the message is, what is the trick to making the perfect bends on notes? And I don't know if there's a particular trick. The trick is to remember where you bend your string to. And I'll tell you what, I might be able to grab a guitar. Not that, once I start grabbing guitars, things do get massively sidetracked. But let's say, for example, you're in everybody's favourite key of E minor. Take a bit of the gain off. And with a bend, generally, you've got especially in the minor key, options of doing either kind of a full bend like that, or giving it a little bit more of a bluesy flavour and kind of bending up to the next note in the blues scale rather than the minor pentatonic scale. But anyway, the key is, and something that you can do now that you couldn't do before, if you have seen my vocal analysis videos, which I assume most of you have done, if you've seen the pitch monitoring software that I use on there, which is called Vocal Pitch Monitor, and it's just an Android app that's free, so anyone can download it, and that's the reason that I use it, is that you can instantly start using this app yourself. So something that you can do now that you couldn't do when I was learning to play guitar is tune up your guitar, play a note, and then you'll see that note as a yellow line. And if you wanted to bend your string to the next note, you'd be able to actually see on the app if you're getting to where that note is. And you'll know if you're slightly flat, you'll know if you're slightly sharp, so you can start to edit it. And then once you're at that position, it's just muscle memory of, and if you're doing it quickly, it's just remembering exactly where that point is when you're doing that bend. And to a certain extent, if you do it slowly, then you can gauge it, and actually you can play the note that you're trying to bend to first. And if you do it slowly, you can start to match those two up. And then, if it sounds like you're getting close to it, then that's the main thing that you're aiming for. And if you're doing a quick bend, you can kind of throw it up there, do a little kind of pull off. But people don't really hear exactly where that note is, as long as you're kind of getting it close. It's the same thing with singing. If you're getting close to the notes, people don't realise, oh, that was 3 cents flat, or even 5 cents or 6 cents. And cents, by the way, are between notes, so you get 100 cents between this note and that note. So like I said, if it's kind of 5 or 6 cents flat or sharp, you've got 100 possible variations of note between those two. So, the higher the number is, the further you're going away from one note, the closer you're getting to the other. So if you're going exactly between two notes, like having this and that is 100 cents between those two. If I now go and bend in between it, these are now called microtones. We're getting quite technical on tonight's live stream, but microtones are any variation of cents between notes. So anyway, it means that microtones are what you have for expressions. So when you're listening to somebody sing, if they've been auto-tuned or pitch corrected, you lose all of the microtones. That, 5 cents sharp, 5 cents flat. That doesn't happen anymore. But that's where the expression is in the voice, and that's where the expression is with your playing. So if I'm going if I'm playing that and just going with my bend, if I wanted to, I could do that, which wasn't going up. It wasn't going up that high, but you still hear it as a difference. You still hear those microtones that aren't the next note up, but a degree of going sharp, of a note going sharp. So that's what happens. If you get rid of all that, then it starts to sound mechanical. And you go, it's totally different between those two of just playing notes straight, which was effectively like being auto-tuned, and then allowing the note to go into those microtones so that you get the expression from that. It just, has something different to it. It makes it more like a voice rather than just a machine telling you the notes. But anyway, so the trick to making the perfect bends is just practice. And if we're doing unison bends, for example, which if you're bending up, same principle here. You want to try and get to the same note. And if you're playing on a guitar that has a floating bridge, i.e. it's not fixed to the guitar, it means that when you do that bend, the other note is going to go slightly flat because of the tension change in the strings and of the strings on the bridge, because it will therefore bring up the bridge, making the tension on the other strings less. So sometimes when you're bending up like that, and you want to get two notes to sing together on your unison bends, just be a bit wary that this note here, if I go, you can maybe hear how it's going ever so slightly flat because I'm bending the other string, therefore taking tension off the bridge. By increasing the tension on the G string, it's taking tension away from all the other strings. So by doing that, I mean, it's ever so slight, that change in pitch, but you've got to be wary of that. If you're trying to now get these notes to be the same, it might not be where you expect because of that change in pitch. So you might find that, like that the first time I did it, that you might be off, but it's because the pitch of the other string is changing. So you do have to edit it for that, but it's just finding that medium, just finding exactly where that point is and keep on doing it. And it's all muscle memory at the end of the day. That's what guitar is. Just keep on doing it. And then once you've got used to that, then your bends will be stored. So you'll be used to either doing a semi or, or going up to there. Again, it's great to play the note first to gauge where it is and then bend up to it and try and get it to sound the same. So anyway, thank you for that, Steve. And let's go back to here and let me see. Okay. I saw some numbers in the live chat room, but I thought, because I got the guitar out, do people think that I'm asking for a Riff of the Week number? But I think we're counting down maybe the likeometer. So yeah, we are at 264 likes at the moment. We're aiming for 330, and that means we're looking for a certain amount of likes. I'm not sure how many. 66 maybe? I'm not sure. I'm now going to look into the live chat room to see if anybody's written down a number. Oh, Bonnie says 55. That can't be right, can it? My maths, or maybe you're talking about something totally unrelated and I'm thinking it's the likeometer. But I'm going to say we're looking for 66 more likes, which I think is correct because we're aiming for 330. Might not be, but there we go. That's what I'm going to set my stall out as, saying that it's now 60. So was I right? 270. We were at 271. Let's leave that alone. But anyway, thank you, Francis, for this $1 donation as well, and that's in the super chat window. And I remember that actually over on Facebook, Laura mentioned that it was Francis's birthday. So yes, happy birthday to you. Everybody say happy birthday, Francis, to Francis in that live chat room. So yeah, have a great day. Thank you for that donation. And I think we are just about up to date, or is that another one that's just come in after Steve's donation? We've had one that's come in from Debbie. So thank you for this, Debbie, and it's a £10 donation. And the message is, hi Phil, great detective work on the Elvis video this week. Congrats on reaching 311,000 subscribers. You are the best. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that, Debbie. And yeah, the whole Elvis thing. And to begin with, I didn't really understand why I was getting these emails. And this is something that just tends to happen when you start getting a lot of subscribers, and especially when the subscriber count goes up quite quite a lot and quite quickly, which doesn't always happen, but certainly over the last few weeks it's jumped up by a significant amount, to the point where you might have, 3,000 or 4,000 more people subscribing, sometimes, over the course of 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. So anyway, it means that there's obviously more attention on the channel, more eyes on the channel, and it will attract. And I didn't understand to begin with why I was getting these emails, but then I remembered that I did a video on Elvis, and I did a video on, so Elvis kind of introducing a song. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. But then also, and that was actually when he was being censored, so they'd only film him from kind of the waist up. But anyway, I had that one, and that had followed on from a video that I made about Sir Paul McCartney, and the fact that, we looked at his bass playing, and I broke down his technique to show that his bass playing hadn't changed since 1963, his technique, where he rests on the guitar, all of these things that, even kind of the length of his fingers, how he plays, is just all totally unique. So therefore, I said to the conspiracy people that he didn't die in 1966. So I think it's that pairing of doing a video about a conspiracy, then doing a video about Elvis, those two things blended together in the algorithm of YouTube, and therefore might have started putting, conspiracy people onto my channel, because I had maybe those two topics quite close together, Elvis and then conspiracy, but it was the Paul McCartney thing that I was talking about. So anyway, that's why I did the video on Sunday, just to point out that, because this picture that I've been sent, I had been sent a few pictures actually over the years, ever since I looked at Bob Joyce, about him, people telling me that he was Elvis, and we did the vocal analysis, and then he's too young anyway, 17 years too young. But people had sent me these pictures of somebody that they said looked like Elvis, and of course I checked them out, and then with kind of one or two you think, oh well, that does look a bit like Elvis, but I didn't really look into it until it gets to the point where you start getting more and more people. And then I noticed this video, and actually since making the video I now know the situation a bit better, that this John Cotner character or person or image, what the person had done was take a picture of somebody totally unrelated to this whole thing and change that person's face to look like Elvis. What they did is use that picture of Elvis on their Facebook page. And I found this out afterwards. So on the Facebook page, you have this face that's been made to look like Elvis. And I did say in that video, where's the motivation for this? Why is this person doing it? And then I realized that what this person has been doing, and actually stopped doing, when the person made the video that I referenced in my video about calling him out effectively for using this other guy's pictures and photoshopping them. So then, I didn't realise when I made the video at the time, but only afterwards, that this person, this John Cotton of Facebook page, had the edited image to make it look like Elvis Presley, and he was releasing songs on that page trying to sound like Elvis, or I said that it sounds like an Elvis impersonator, or somebody that obviously is a big fan, but it's definitely not Elvis's voice. But anyway, the motivation for it was that people were buying this CD thinking that it was the actual Elvis, and even people leaving comments saying, oh, great job on this, John, in inverted commas, with a winking face. So they're kind of believing this conspiracy, not knowing that the picture they're looking at has been photoshopped, and it's been photoshopped of somebody totally different, but to make it look like Elvis. And then this John Cotner person is pretending to be this picture, who obviously looks like Elvis, and then tries to sing like Elvis, and therefore is selling songs and covers and albums. So that's where the motivation came from. It pretty much, when I questioned what's the motivation, it's always money, unfortunately. So that's something that I found out afterwards, because then I would have been able to say in that analysis video, or just that conspiracy video, that this is where the obvious reason is, and the motivation is because people are buying into this. They think that this might be the actual Elvis, who's and I saw a quote, that apparently John said, John said, when interviewed, are you Elvis Presley? He said, oh, no, I'm not. But if I was, I wouldn't tell you anyway. And of course, people then read into that, oh, he must be because he wouldn't say that afterwards if he wasn't and all that stuff. But if he didn't say that afterwards, it means that he wouldn't sell as many CDs. So, yeah, it's a sad situation, but that's, what I found out afterwards. Anyway, this is it. So, Roe has said fraud. And that's probably what it is in the eyes of the law, especially manipulating an image. It's like, say, for example, I sounded like somebody with my voice and that person had died, but I was then taking pictures of somebody that I didn't know, editing them to make it look like the person who's died. And I know that my voice sounds a bit like that person. And I mean, they're just kind of making the most of the whole conspiracy thing and jumping on that bandwagon. But it's interesting that as soon as the video was made about him editing pictures, whoever this person was, all of his activity on his Facebook page stopped. No more songs, no more albums, no more messages to people saying thanks for the support. And even looking down on that page, you see messages from people saying, oh, hi, John, in inverted commas, so sorry for your loss. And talking about Lisa Marie Presley when she passed away. So people are talking to him as if it is actually Elvis saying sorry about, sorry for your loss and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, unfortunately, those people were just believing it because of what had been done, this whole Photoshop thing, believing that this was an actual person. Real shame. But like I said, I found that out afterwards. But I just wanted to address that anyway because it was so obviously faked on Photoshop. And, the other thing is, just taking somebody else's pictures and changing them. I think it's just a bit out of order as well. So anyway, that was the last video, at least that conspiracy video on Elvis that I did on Sunday. I don't think it was great detective work, but it was good detective work by the person's channel who had looked through the internet trying to find these original pictures. And they must have had an inkling that, or maybe they knew the person whose pictures had been stolen or manipulated. So, it's good detective work on his part. So, anyway, thank you for that, Debbie. Now, we are going to be jumping into probably the cover video for tonight. And we will, I tell you what, bring that to a close in the poll part, and I think it looked like it was going to be free falling, maybe, as it comes through. Yes, it was. Oh, and another donation's just come in from Mick for £4.99. So thank you for that. A bit of pound sterling in the house. And Mick has a message that says, hi Phil, I recently got a Blackmore signature Strat, Sig Strat. Any tips on playing a scalloped neck with a shocked face and rock chords? So, I've only played scalloped frets and scalloped neck. It depends kind of what you refer to it as. But anyway, I refer to them or it as scalloped frets because of the frets. Basically, if people don't know, the fretboard is cut away. So, actually, on my gem, not that you'll be able to see it, but quite high up, it then turns into scallop frets. So what happens is you push the string between the frets and there's no contact on the fretboard, but the note between the frets sounds. The only problem with that, and I don't play apart from, on that particular guitar, but that's more just eliminating the problem of not being able to fit your fingers in and all that kind of stuff, making contact with the fretboard, just making it as playable as possible. But it just has got standard frets for the rest of the neck. But anyway, yes, playing on, I did play one when I was teaching at a guitar shop, and what I would say is just be wary of how much pressure you're applying, because when you're pushing on you're not actually pushing onto the fretboard. This is the point, that the string is in midair, it's floating. So the harder you push it in, the higher the pitch is going to be. So just be a little bit wary of that you don't want to start kind of playing notes that would be going, you kind of want those nice even sounds, rather than, if you push down too hard, this will become like that. And you'll know if you're playing and practicing on it, that if you push too hard, you are increasing the tension on that string too much, and you'll go sharp of your note. But again, this is something that's just down to personal preference. Some players love to play scallop frets, some people don't. I'm not a big fan of them, but you'll get other players who will say that, you can play faster because you don't need to push down the string and make contact with a fretboard that is a certain distance away for your note to sound. You just have to be on the note, and then you can get it to sound. So, like I said, I didn't really find it something that appealed to me personally, but I was just used to playing guitar just on a standard neck or with standard frets since I was 11. So changing felt a little bit weird. But I will say that actually on the Gem, it's not something that I've had to adapt to. I guess because I've had a little bit of experience playing it, it's not just suddenly totally weird. I have played there, have played on those frets before. So it didn't affect me kind of too badly. But I wouldn't change my whole guitar into scallop frets. So anyway, thank you for that, Mick. And I hope that your playing is transferable to your new guitar. And I mean, it's great to get a new guitar. I mean, a new guitar, but a guitar that is old but new to you. And it's just great to have something different to have a play around with, especially scallop frets as well. So I wish you success on your journey, especially if you're used to not playing them. So thank you, Mick, for that message. But we will jump into tonight's cover video, and it was Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. And I think this particular tune, I'm not sure if it's ever lost in a vote whenever it's been requested on the live streams, and tonight is no exception. So we'll jump into this, of course, my version of the Tom Petty classic, and our Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. If you guys want the full band, but you guys already know this because you always vote for this whenever it's, and it doesn't really matter which song it's against. It's just a bit of a classic, isn't it? So it always seems to win the vote at the end of the poll. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys after. Rock!
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl, she's crazy about Elvis, loves horses and a boyfriend too. And it's a long day living in Reseda, and there's a freeway running through the yard. I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. And I'm free, free falling.
And there we have it. That was my version of Free Falling, of course. Thank you guys for requesting that over on Patreon for tonight's live stream. And we are looking for 21, according to my screen, 21 more people to hit the thumbs up for us to hit that target tonight of 330, currently at 309. And if we hit that target, we'll have a Phil Jam a little bit later on. I say that, it's already midnight here in the UK. We are going to be jumping into Picture Corner. And I have to be a little bit organised for this because this is going to be a picture of a Zoom call over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters page on Facebook, which you guys can get involved with if you want to. You can join in there and join these lovely people in the live chat room between live streams and continue the conversation over there. But let's take that jump into Picture Corner and see if I can actually get the picture up on screen. Now the thing about this is, on my screen it is very small indeed, so I'm not sure whether people can actually see the names or see the names on your screens if you've got a full screen, maybe. But anyway, so this is, by the way, a Zoom call that Vince hosted, the Zoom chat, as it's referred to as. And after the live streams, we have the after stream party that is hosted by Bob as well. And Vince used to host that, so you guys can head over there after the live stream if you want to. But yeah, the after party, I think, I always forget what I refer to it as, but yeah, the after party over on the supporters page on Facebook. But let's get into this, because I've now found the message from Laura, which has helped me see the names, even though they're a little bit too small. The picture's a little bit too small, but I can recognise a few people even with small pictures. But anyway, we have from left to right, so going from the top left, then we have Dawn, and then Vince, and you'll be able to see some mugs being held up and t-shirts. So thank you guys for getting in character with the merchandise. So yeah, we got Dawn and Vince, and then Anna, and then Vincent. Then the next line down, second line down left, we've got Barbara, Carl, and Liz, and Joe. And then we're now down to the third line down. We've got Deborah, we've got Bob, and we've got Kim. Then we've got Rebecca, and then we've got Peg Ann at the bottom, and it just says Peg Ann, so that's PN112 in the live chat room, and that's Peg Ann's YouTube username. So thank you for posing for that picture and for sending it to, or putting it on the Facebook page, but also thank you, Laura, for linking me to that. If you guys want to get involved with the calls as well, then you can do. You can get involved with as much or as little as you like over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters page, whatever takes your fancy. But there we have it. That was the Zoom call, and it should come back to me, and here we are. So where are we at? We're looking for 7 more likes, ladies and gentlemen. So 7 more people in the live chat room to hit that thumbs up, and it's 3 minutes past midnight, so we might be able to squeeze in a Phil Jam, maybe. It might be possible. So a Phil Jam, a riff of the week is what I meant to say. Hopefully we'll definitely get the Phil Jam in if we hit the target, because it's only 3 minutes past. So that's what I meant. We'll squeeze in a riff of the week. And it means I have to actually get organised. This is always what happens. I just say it on a whim. I will do that and then realise I've got to get the list from my email that has been sent through again, which is good. So thank you, Laura, for doing that. Right, we are ready. So give me some numbers, please. For what did I... Oh, I used to... What did I play for... It was in the background. I went... Oh, and then I think I went... I can't remember what that was. That was in the past on live streams, obviously everything that you hear on my channel with the live streams and everything, I've played it. So I played a backing. I can't remember what it was, but there was something that we did that had that. Is it G over to D or probably D over to G, and then and then we went to the G there. Anyway, that's a little musical interlude while we look at the numbers. Okay, and we are going to look at Robert says 007. Laura says 92. We've had number 92. So let's have a little look through. And it looks like Liz is spamming the comments, just doing loads of different numbers. So just one number at a time, please. We have... Oh, I thought I was going to say number 2. Well, we had Anna saying 2 to go, and Chant to the Door says 2. So I'm going to take that as a request for number 2. But we've had number 2. Desert Deluge says 67. We haven't had 67, so it's going to be Desert Deluge for tonight, picking number 67. And I have to keep reminding myself of number 67 while I go to the place that I actually need to go to in order to find it. Riff of the week 67. And it's that one. Let me click on that, pause that before it starts playing. And what do I do to get this up on screen? We do that, and then I have to do the screen capture, which is that. I need to get it in the right place on the screen, which is there. And it should appear now. Right, so we're looking for the name of the song that the riff is from. You can give me the band as well, but it's all about the song. So let's have a listen to this and see what it is. And there we have it. So, right, I'm going to stop the comments from coming through because I want to make sure. I mean, that was a super duper easy one. Let me scroll down to see who got it first. Steve said Rainbow by Rainbow from the Rainbow album. And then actually before that, Mimi321 did speak sense and say Satisfaction. So I think that's the first one that came through, which was correct. So, yes, Cindy says Satisfaction. David M said Satisfaction. So congratulations to you. Annika got it as well. Bonnie Sue. Rose said Aerosmith, so not quite. But, yeah, quite a few correct guesses there, as was probably easy to predict. So yeah, congratulations, loads of people going through. Karen, Mary, Daisy as well. But Francis, Deborah, Bang Bang, Drummer. Actually, Daisy said Rolling Stones. So technically, we always go for the name of the song in order to get it correct. But Rolling Stones was the band. Rolling Stones Satisfaction. And let me have a look through. Yeah, Charlie got it as well. So congratulations. But I did say that was quite an easy one. Right, let me get rid of that. Get back to the normal screen so that we can see what's going on. And by the way, we have hit the likes goal. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up. But if you are watching this in the future on catch up, you can keep on hitting that thumbs up or use your thumbs up token. It really does help the live stream to get out there a little bit more, but for the channel to grow on the whole. So yes, thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up, getting us to our Fill Jam target, which means we are going to be playing guitar, even though we've already played guitar today, but it doesn't count unless it's a Fill Jam. So we're going to be jumping into this number 31, which is going to be over here. Okay, and right, This is from the YouTube channel Q Jam Tracks, and that's a Q, like capital Q, capital J of jam, and then tracks, and that Jam Tracks, Q Jam Tracks, all one word without any spaces, just in case you want to check out this particular channel for the jams, or this particular jam. And it says, backing track, modulating E major, C major, or C Lydian, and A Dorian. So we're not really interested in scales and and modes and all that kind of stuff. Of course, they have their place, but not for a fill jam. We're just going to play it and see what happens and see what it sounds like. And, oh, Barbara said, chair up, please. There we go. It's actually already almost there, but not quite. Folded legs, so we can see the guitar. And as for levels, we're just going to have to wing it, as always. Ooh. I did that because of that chord change. Okay, right, I can hear. Sometimes it's hard to hear exactly the chords that are going on in the background. But we're kind of getting away with it, hopefully. quite cool because I'm listening to the bass. I'm getting kind of a bit distracted because it's quite an involved backing track. Looked like something was going to happen, and it just stopped. So that was the end of the backing track. I thought it might have an ending or something, but yeah, that was interesting. We had lots of different changes going on there. Always interesting when you're playing over the top of something random. Like sometimes, you know, the progression is quite easy, but you know, that was a little bit more involved because we had changes. We had modulations, changes, and does say modulating, which means like a key change. So we're kind of moving around, but at least it did repeat. So once you've heard it a few times, you can maybe start to get used to it. But you're always wary of a sudden change that might keep you from staying in the right key, or even singing over the top of chords that you haven't heard before. You can still try and think, well, where's the next chord going? I won't sing that note just in case it doesn't go where I'm expecting. So anyway, that was, an interesting one. It's always cool to have something a little bit different, and keeps me on my toes a little bit, and actually quite a lot. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, and we're going to be live streaming on Saturday night as always, but analysis videos Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. That's when those happen. But if you can join me live on Saturday night, then that would be great. I'll be there, same time, same place, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So thank you again for joining me, everybody. And I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anything out. We all are all up to date with everything in the live stream tonight. So yes, I will catch you at the next video tomorrow night. Have a great rest of your week. As I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!